This color transition is making me crazy. They say an eco-friendly house can't be built in 150 days for $150,000, and I say it can. I'm Alan Smith. Join me as I push the limits with time, budget, and creativity with the Garden Home Challenge, exclusively on ehowhome. You know, I have to say, this idea of transitions and reveals and things like that are sort of weird words, but they're really important when it comes to design. For instance, the transition from the floor here to the wall here at the door is important to think about. This is to represent a plinth block, which would be a transitional element. It's almost, if this were carved of stone, this would be the base stone that this piece sits on. So that's where that comes from. If you go back and if you look at classical architectural details. Also, the transition between this line and here. You know, we're building this house on a budget. You know, if I'd had more money, I probably would have brought this out just a little bit further, created a little more depth, a little more shadow, it would have popped. It's nice, but hey, this is working, it's fine. Now take a look at the ceiling up here. We've got another transitional point that I'm trying to work on. When we were working on the ceiling, you know, I didn't want to do a proper ceiling here in terms of it being flat and coming across like you would with a more, you know, finished house. This is a cottage. You can see the blue ceiling, but then you can also see this transition from blue to white here. Now on this house, we're really using only 5 colors. We have a red roof, so let's take that out of the equation here for just a minute. The body of the house is yellow. We're going to paint the floor a certain color. You'll have a certain color for the front door. I think the floor is going to be a really pale green, a comfort green that I love so much, maybe a dark green door. But then we have the trim color, which is white. So we have the sky blue ceiling, and the reason we do this is because insects such as wasps and dirt daubers, when they see blue like this, they don't tend to build their nests on it because it feels like to them, I'm not an insect so I don't know this, but that's what they tell me, that it's like infinity and they're not going to build like a nest in infinity. I don't think you can do that. So they try to build on things that are more solid. But what drives me crazy is that we just have this little paint line right here. So I talked to Tony about maybe taking a trim board, and what we have here is just a 1x2 board. This is in cedar, and so it would go up like this, and he'd prime it first. And then he would come along and attach it with this little 4-penny nail. So 4-penny nail is all you need, and it's headless. So he would drive this 4-penny nail into this. It would already be primed. He'd caulk it and then paint this white. So from here up would be blue, and we have this transitional element. I know it's a little detail, but it makes a big difference to me as a designer. So anyway, they're going to do it, and I hope no one tells Paige because he's really riding me hard about the budget. Hey, if you're enjoying following what we're doing here with this house, tell a friend about it and subscribe to ehowhome.